Austin.
I'm Quintin.
This is XMAS Movies.
The podcast where we talk about Christmas classics that aren't exactly classics. Today we're talking about Shazam.
Yeah.
We've had a solid string of pretty good movies.
Yeah.
I'm really happy about it. I didn't enjoy Jingle All the Way at all. I'm never going to stop talking about it. I really have discovered a new vendetta.
Yeah. Let's just say whenever Quintin is a very spiteful person.
Yes, that is true.
If he hates something, he hates it vehemently.
That is also true. I've tried to get out of it more and more because I think it's just fun to enjoy stuff, but when something like really is not good, it makes me upset. We're not gonna get into that though.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about Shazam.
Yeah. I forgot everything about this movie.
Really? This was it's definitely one of my favorite DCEU movies.
Oh, there aren't that many good ones. It's a coin flip pretty much. At this point it's a coin flip. It wasn't like that for a while.
Yeah. I'm trying to think about this. I think for me this is my favorite, honestly. I don't know what yours is.
They're also different. I like Aquaman, the Suicide Squad, and the first Wonder Woman movie at about the same level, but all for different reasons.
Oh God, yeah. No, I agree with that. This is my bag. I'm a big fan of movies about found family.
Yeah.
And it feels very Christmassy, which is weird because this movie came out in April.
Yeah.
Like not even like
not
summer.
Even close.
Like a lot of the movies we talked about, this came out in April.
Yeah. Not even close.
But yeah. For those of you who don't know, because I sometimes forget, like superheroes are very much a part of like pop culture now.
Yeah.
But like sometimes things fly a bit more under the radar, which this movie kind of did. And
I feel like this movie got a lot of like good reception when it first came out.
No, it did, but I know less people saw this.
Yeah.
I think that's just a thing with DC movies in general. But I basically Shazam is about a kid, an orphan boy who gets taken to this magical realm by a wizard, and he gets granted immense power
after holding his staff.
Yeah, shut up.
They make that joke in the movie.
They do?
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
Yeah, he does.
Do you think he does, or do you know he does?
I remember him saying something like "you." That sounds wrong, or something like that.
Maybe he does. Whatever.
I think he does.
Whatever.
He's a teenager.
Whatever.
They go to a strip club later in the movie.
They do. He gets immense power and turns into basically an adult version of himself.
You turn into Zachary Levi
when he says the word Shazam. And he
Shazam.
Yeah.
He sounds very funny when he says it.
He does.
Because he's just a child yelling.
Yeah. And that's kind of what it is. It's about it's about an orphan. Not an orphan. He's not an orphan. He's Does orphan imply your family has died?
We're gonna look this up. Because I don't want to give an answer to that question.
You gotta have your fucking laptop out. You're being unprofessional, is what you're being.
No, I'm being lazy. That's a very different thing. Boy,
a child whose parents are dead.
Okay, so foster child? I think foster child.
Yeah, no, he's in the foster care system, and he gets taken in. His name is Billy, and he gets taken in by this
oh my
family.
God, it's another fucking Bill.
Oh shit!
Oh my God! What the hell?
Why are they with Black?
This is
Black
three
Christmas.
This
broke
is
the
three
streak.
movies. This is 3 movies though. 3 out of the 8 now? 7.
8. This is our 8th.
This is our 8th. Holy crap! 3 out of the 8 movies. 3 of the last 4 that we've watched have had a protagonist named Billy.
Yeah.
Or Bill. Or William. It's weird.
Yeah.
Why is that such a popular trend?
I don't know, man. But yeah, he gets taken in by the Vasquez family, and that is my favorite part of the movie. Is just the dynamic between all of the kids.
All the child actors in this movie are really good.
They are.
And they kind of needed to be good.
Asher Angel, the guy who plays Billy, does not get as much screen time because he's Zachary Levi most of the time. He does a really amazing job, as does Zachary Levi. And I was very, actually no, I was never surprised by this. It made sense to me. But Zachary Levi's chemistry with all the kids, especially, fuck, what is his name?
Look it up.
What's his? Shut up.
Look it
I
up.
am. I have my laptop here because I'm a professional. Because I'm not lazy. Where's your laptop again?
It's in my backpack. Do you want me to get it out?
No, just anyways, Jack Dylan Grazer. His chemistry with Jack Dylan Grazer as Freddy is really amazing.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, all the child actors are really great.
Yeah. And like they all play their roles like very well and like are very like all are very likable. Child actors can really get on people's nerves sometimes because they're children. They're not they're not professionals and they don't follow. They're a little harder to direct than your standard actor.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're all cast like, from my opinion as a fan of Shazam comics and Captain Marvel comics, they're all cast like to a T. They're all perfect. So are their adult selves, I would say. Their adult selves are pretty well cast.
Yeah, they don't get as much. Like, it's kind of the reverse. They don't get as much screen time because they're only in like the last portion of the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, all of the actors are doing the Freaky Friday bit very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah. What?
I'm just looking.
Fun. So yeah, I think I don't know why I forgot so much about this movie. Like, okay, it's like this movie is really good, but like for me it doesn't have a lot of standout qualities outside of like the performances.
It's just a solid movie for me. It's just a solid superhero movie, and I think recently, in recent years, since like the end of like since Infinity War and Endgame, I think more solid, like smaller superhero stories have really started to stand out for me.
Yeah.
Like this. And I think a lot of people want those big events again, and I at this point in
I think it's too early.
No, it is. But like that's why I think a lot of people have gotten used to like massive stories, whereas this is a smaller story because Shazam has never really been a big story. I mean, to start, it was its own thing. It wasn't originally part of DC Comics at all. It was published by Fawcett Comics, and then they got sued by Marvel because Captain Marvel was a thing, and at the time Shazam was also called Captain Marvel. And then so they kind of went out of business, and then DC bought the rights and then started publishing it under the name Shazam. And I think only recently, in the comics, did the character get started. Was the character referred to as Shazam? That was like a very recent development.
Yeah.
But even now, most of the characters that you see in Shazam stories are from Shazam comics. It's a very insular thing. And I like it that way. I think it allows them to tell a story more about family.
Yeah.
Which is
easily, that's the main family, and specifically found family is the main theme in this movie. And they do it very well. And it's a very Christmassy theme, and there's a lot of little Christmas elements that really enhance that. You were talking about how I think the best movie that we've watched right up to this point to compare this to is Iron Man, obviously Iron Man 3, because I think they both capture the feel. They're both superhero movies that are set at Christmas. I think this one does a better job than Iron Man 3 at capturing kind of Christmas as a whole.
I think so.
And I think while I didn't 100% agree with you that Iron Man was a Christmas movie, this ticks all of the boxes that you say of good comics that are set at Christmas.
Yes, I agree with that.
I think the themes in this movie align a little bit more with Christmas movies just as a whole.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think there are a lot of it's hard. I'm trying to talk about this as a movie, but it's hard to not talk about how comics function when you're talking about comic book movies.
Yeah.
There are a lot of comic books out there set at Christmas that are focus on Christmas adjacent themes, and Iron Man 3, like you said, is a really good example of that. And I think Iron Man 3, I still think it's like a solid. It's not the best Christmas movie out there by far. Like you were saying, I also prefer Shazam to Iron Man 3, but I think they're also trying to tell two very different stories.
Yeah, definitely.
It just, for me, it just so happens that the story Shazam is telling is a much more traditionally Christmassy story.
Yeah, and like I think like the angle at which it attacks it from is something that you don't often see with like Christmas movies. In like a lot of people, like even if you're not like within like the foster care system or ostracized from your parents, like everybody can relate to finding a family that they relate to more than the family that they're born into. Most likely, I can't speak for everybody, obviously, but like I relate to that dramatically.
When I saw this movie, the only reason I didn't cry, because Found Family makes me cry literally all the time, is because there was a dude sitting next to us that kept on like cheering out, and during the scene where Billy confronts his mom, well, not confronts, but like meets her, the guy next to us sitting alone just went under his breath. He was just like, "You fucking bitch, you motherfucking bitch." It was so funny that I didn't cry.
I don't think I saw this in theaters.
I did.
Yeah.
I dragged some friends along with me.
There's like, I'm realizing more and more like that I very rarely see DC superhero movies in theaters.
I tried to see like just prior to COVID, I saw as many movies as I could in theaters.
Yeah.
It was just, I enjoy going to the movie theaters, especially because it's just like an easy thing to do with people. Nowadays it's getting harder because money is tighter.
Yeah.
But it's, for me, it's about, there's something very nostalgic about going to a movie theater, sitting down in that dark room with people that you care a lot about, and like watching a movie. And that's another thing. This movie feels very nostalgic, which is very good for it being like a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
It feels a lot like really early superhero films. It harkens back a lot to that.
It definitely takes a lot from the early 2000s superhero. Like when I talk about that, I'm talking about like the campy ones, like Spider-Man, and like in like even further back, like I would say the old superhero movies.
I would say
Christopher Reeves.
Yeah, Christopher Reeves, the Richard Donner Superman.
Yeah,
it's so. We were just talking because fucking Lois Lane was in Black Christmas.
What the hell?
That's so.
Why
weird.
do all these intersect in weird ways?
But yeah, no, I get a lot. For me, this feels similar to the Richard Donner Superman films for sure, and like obviously, it's like it is a pretty straightforward origin film.
Yeah.
Which makes it feel like the Raimi films. That's just kind of something that all superhero origin films feel like now, because it was one of the first. But it also,
I'd argue it's more like that because it leans a lot harder into the campiness. Granted, it's more poking fun at it than it is embracing it, but it's definitely still, the campiness is definitely a big part of this movie.
Yeah, and I would say in the Sam Raimi films, where it is very campy, but it definitely tries to be very self-serious, and this one never. I think a lot of superhero films try to be campy, and I think they like try to lean into it, especially nowadays.
Yeah.
Starting out like early 2000s, grim dark superheroes, that was the trend. Black leather, all that shit. And now we're moving away from that, but still superhero films are trying to like prove that they are like high art and that they can be like dark and serious. And I think
this film's not really trying to do that.
No,
which is nice. Not everything has to be art. This
came out like very close to Endgame, so it was it was at that moment that I was like, I was really vibing with DC because it was like they have finally realized they cannot compete with this beast that is the MCU.
Marvel is already too big.
No, they can't do it, so they're just gonna kind of do their own thing, and that's just a cool thing to see. It felt like we were having this discussion when we were driving back up last week. When we were in the car for a couple hours, we were talking about how Nintendo feels in comparison to like PlayStation and Xbox. And this to me feels like the Switch coming out at the same time as like
the Xbox One and PS4.
Yeah.
Like, well, yeah, just like as like it coming out in like the era of like these very like weird like these like extremely like I don't know, just corporate console, like it's very in the box.
And now like there's the One X and the PS5, and then fucking
the Switch is still a thing.
Yeah, like literally one of our friends is trying to get an Xbox Series X, and then like one of my other friends is like, man, fucking day one Switch OLED, I'm fucking going for it. Like that's what Shazam feels like. It feels it's not trying to be
a big Marvel movie. It's focusing on telling a really like fun and good and like heartwarming story. And like it's for kids. Like this is like the first like it's about kids, and it like tackles like very low to the ground like child like issues, which I don't think the Raimi films do that well because they're all like 30 when they're doing it.
Yeah,
fucking Joe Manganiello has. I love Joe Manganiello, but what the hell is he doing in that movie?
Yeah, not a whole lot of superhero films do that, and that's something that Shazam has always been able to do because I think a lot of superheroes feel the like aside from Spider-Man, but Spider-Man suffers from this sometimes where people assume that they need to age up their heroes in order to have them tell impactful stories, and I don't think that's true because I think some of the most hard-hitting stories I have ever consumed in any media has been about kids.
Yeah.
Like, most of the characters that have hit me the absolute hardest is when just a child comes in. Like, their unique perspective on it. Because I think everyone can relate to that feeling of just being a child and trying to find your way and your place.
I mean, we're effectively. I mean, I'm 19, but like we're effectively still in that mind. We're still kind of in that weird transitional.
No,
period.
we are. But like, I'm trying to think. The thing that killed me the most. I know you haven't finished it, but in the finale of the Adventure Zone Balance, getting slightly niche here.
Yeah.
The character
to the McElroy fans out there, Taz.
Listen. I think in terms of our listeners, I think there will be a bit of crossover.
Yeah, probably.
But anyways, the character that in like that finale that killed me the most was Magnus. Like do you remember from that one arc, Magnus, like the boy detective
that is like basically turns into like the gang's Cortana.
A little bit, yeah. But yeah, like those characters always like like I was saying, the perspective that a child has, like dealing with all of this shit, like that always has hit me the hardest, especially in terms of found family, which also that's part of why I love Taz Balance so much and why I really like this movie a lot.
Yeah. And like back to like it relating as a Christmas movie, we kind of talked about that in the middle. We kind of broke formula for this
a little bit.
But, yeah. But yeah, like the found like family and found family are two things that are like very like integral, and well, family is specifically is a theme that comes up a lot in Christmas movies, and I think this movie does that very well. I think it is very effective at doing that.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the best on this list. I think there are like in terms of like it being a Christmas movie, but I think it does utilize the elements very well.
Where do you think it falls?
Above Iron Man 3.
I think I'm trying to think about this. Do you think it's
above Home Alone 2? Did I put Home Alone 2? No.
No, I definitely agree with you.
I've forgotten where we put all these movies. We need to
I
write these down.
have it pulled up.
Success.
I have it. I definitely want to put it above Iron Man 3. I don't know, because Gremlins feels Christmassy, but I think this deals with shit that, God, I don't know. I think the themes of Found Family are like hit very hard, which I think is why The Night Before is kind of at the top of the list.
Yeah, for me. I think I'd put it like. So I'm looking at your list.
This is our unified list. I've tried not to
find this on Letterboxd.
Don't call me out like that. I don't want people to know I have a Letterboxd. I'm ashamed of my letter. I'm ashamed of the fact that I have a Letterboxd.
You can send me. We'll take a picture of this so I can put it like on the screen.
Have you ever watched a movie and then you and all of your friends pull out your phone to update your Letterboxd? Because I have, and that shit's embarrassing.
I'm glad I don't really use it that much. I think above Iron Man 3 is still where I'd put it.
I want to put it.
I feel like Gremlins leans into the aesthetic a lot more, and that's why it irks out just a little bit. It's tackling different themes than Shazam.
I think that Shazam is far more successful though, and I think I'm gonna argue to put it above Gremlins, just because Gremlins feels less cohesive in terms of themes, even if
it feels more like they're focused on the Gremlins.
Yeah, even if the aesthetic of Christmas is more prevalent, and it is like even if there's that whole sequence where Phoebe Cates' character talks about how her dad dressed up as Santa and died.
Yeah, that's oh my god, that was
which we didn't talk about.
We didn't talk about that. That is a really, really specific and fucked up thing to happen.
I think the found family aspect, which is something that like if that's not like the biggest thing, at least in like Christmas classics, like traditional Christmas classics.
I think it's good for modern Christmas classics. It is a thing that is important in modern Christmas classics.
I want to put it above Gremlins.
Yeah, okay.
Yes!
Okay. I defer to you on this.
Yes! And I'm not biased.
Yeah.
I'm not biased at all, even though Shazam is one of my favorite superheroes. I'm not biased.
I'm trying to think of where the other movies that we're almost done with this.
We're
2/3 of the way through.
We're 3/4, actually. Wait.
We're 2/3. This is we've done 8 movies. There are 12. 12 divided by 3 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 2 out of 3.
We're gonna cut that out. We're cut that out.
I'm editing this episode.
No, we actually said we would switch because I wanted to edit Shazam.
That's true.
Get fucked. Get fucked.
This isn't getting cut out.
Let the record show that Austin is bad at math, and yeah, it's not me.
What?
We had to edit something out, and Austin is very bad at math.
Hey, shut up.
Austin's bad at math. It's not me.
8 out of 12 is 2/3.
Shut up. No, I'm not gonna leave it in, but I've made a very stupid, very simple mistake.
Fuck you, Quintin.
I tried to throw Austin under the bus, but it was me. That is bad at math.
Oh God. Okay.
But yeah,
why am I more loopy now than when I was reviewing Eyes Wide Shut?
It is not even 11.
I know. It's we finished talking about Eyes Wide Shut at like 12:30.
Yeah.
Last night.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
we're doing all these in the span. This is the most movies that I've watched in this over the span of like a week.
Same.
This is a lot.
But I'm vibing.
Yeah.
I really liked Shazam a lot. The Found Family. I want to analyze it more. I feel like we've gotten less and less analytical as we've gone on.
Well, yeah.
I think it works really well as a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
It's a fun movie. And I think part of the only thing that like makes it not like the perfect Christmas movie is that it definitely does a better job of, it's definitely more cohesive film than The Night Before, but it doesn't have the Christmas aesthetic nearly as much
Yeah.
because it was released in April. So I think they knew that, and they were like,
Yeah. It's like, this is releasing in April. Might as well just.
Mhm.
It's a Christmas movie if you want it to be.
It
Green
is.
Knight is coming out in theaters again. It's advertising itself as a fucking Christmas movie because it is.
What?
It's weird.
It's set at Christmas.
The Green Knight is set at Christmas.
We'll talk about it.
It's
next
a Christmas
year.
game. That's
talk
next
about-
year. We'll talk about
it
the Green
next
Knight.
year.
Did you even see the Green Knight?
No, I know I didn't.
It's actually pretty good.
I was waiting for this podcast.
Yeah.
I was just waiting. But
That's
yeah.
gonna be a hell of a first viewing.
Oh god. That's about it.
Yeah.
That's been.
Yeah, this movie's good. Go
Yeah,
watch
it's
it.
a good movie. It's a good Christmas movie. Please go watch it. It's a very fun time. Zachary Levi, slightly underrated.
Still pretty. Yeah. Very funny. Very funny man.
Yeah, very funny man.
Funny.
But yeah.
Yeah, I'm Austin.
I'm Quintin. Next time we're gonna be talking about Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, second Shane Black film on this list.
I have no idea what this movie's about.
Robert Downey Jr. is in it. This is also the second
What
Robert
the
Downey
hell?
Jr. film on this
Robert
list.
Downey Jr. Shane.
I'm Quintin.
I'm Austin.
Austin just broke the fucking mic. So guess there'll be a solo episode next time. But yeah, catch y'all in the next one. Happy holidays.